Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to do a table reading with this one because I really want to concentrate. And sometimes, looking at the camera is a little distracting for me. So I want to ask John Lewis if he would talk to us. So Congressman Lewis, we lost earlier last week, and his final funeral, his final memorial is today. And when he first passed, I really got the sense, no, not the time. I've been kind of checking in, seeing if he's willing to talk to us. Always willing, but I want to be respectful too. And I think sometimes spirits are, this is a private time. I need to, deal with what I'm dealing with or help my family. And I felt that from Mr. Lewis. So today, however, I feel like he's willing to speak to the public, so to speak. So I'm going to ask Congressman Lewis if he would talk to us, what he wants to tell us. Temperance. He is saying, be wise, be temperate. All things that are accomplished over time. They're accomplished with wisdom. They're accomplished with a deliberate plan. Be wise about what you say. Be deliberate. Wow. That's interesting. See, I didn't know Representative Lewis. I didn't follow him too closely. He always seemed like he didn't seek the spotlight too much. But he's a very, he was considered the conscience of Congress. He spoke up when need be. And he was a champion for civil rights. Arrested many times in protests, sacrificed much during that. The challenge is the Eight of Swords. The challenge is there are some things that restrict us. There are some laws, there are some plans. There are. I feel like he's saying, be deliberate. Think about what needs to be changed, what specific laws need to be changed, what pieces of legislation. He's very planful. He's being very, this is about intelligence and caution. Yeah. He's saying right now there is a lot of restriction to what can be done to face the problems, the inequalities that exist in our society here in the U.S. But if we started moving forward and knew that it was going to be a gradual process and were temperate and wise about it, that would help. That would work. So he's saying, don't expect it all to be solved overnight. That's definitely what I'm hearing. He's definitely giving advice about change and the Black Lives Matter movement and other inequalities and injustices as well. He's definitely with protesters. But he's saying, be temperate, be wise. I feel like he's also saying, don't give them a chance to discredit what you're doing. And then we have the king, although sometimes they'll do that anyway. These swords can be lies. And we have the King of Swords underneath it all. That is the part of our government that is planful, is truthful, investigates. A lot of times that's investigation when that's come up in my political readings. The King of Swords. I also feel like he's saying there is a leader who is rising up, who is quite intelligent, who will have to make some tough decisions, who will do that. The King of Swords just goes for truth. He's not out to win a popularity contest. This is right, this is truth, this is what makes sense, this is logical, this is what we're doing. So we do have leadership rising up. He's giving us some encouragement. Oh, wonderful. In the past, what do we have? We have the Queen of Cups. I think that means we have a more compassionate world. And there are those who think compassion is weakness, who think that we can't afford compassion. There's not enough compassion to go around, so by God, my group is going to get the compassion and the mercy. So, but the fact of the matter is that over the decades, he's encouraging us again. Over the decades, we have become more compassionate so that people who are not compassionate do stick out like sore thumbs. And we do want a more compassionate government. We're at a new place. We're not at the pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Everybody, if they just do what's right and morally right, and work hard, they're gonna succeed. You know, we're not at that kind of. We're not buying that kind of rhetoric, like perhaps we did in the 90s, right? We're not buying that rhetoric. It's different. It's different. There is a change. Above it all, we have the King of Cups. Wow. So I feel like, you know what? I almost feel like that's Joe Biden. Similar leadership that is going to help ride us out. We need a sense of calm right now. So that's also what's on our minds. This is our conscious above in our thoughts. Everybody wants things to be calm and, yes, compassionate. We have the King and Queen of Cups here. Self-controlled. We want people who can control their emotion in office. We want people who will help us ride out the stormy seas, will help us hopefully not get too upset. Look at this king. His throne just kind of, goes over the waves and no big deal. His world is still okay. He's not even spilling his cup. So he's saying that's what the American people are wanting now. They have to get truthful. We're going to have to get truthful about some issues and planful and reasonable with our planning. It's not going to be magic that fixes it. It's going to be our democracy and our involvement. 7 of Wands. In the immediate future, we're holding our ground. That's another reassurance. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Yeah, that's another reassurance that we will hold our ground. We're going to hang on to our main priority, freedom, liberty. At the root of the matter is the White House. We have the 4 of Wands. Who gets the White House? That's very important. Immediate environment, 5 of Cups, where there's a lot of regret as our nation looks at how the pandemic's been handled and the losses and the disappointments. There are a lot of regrets. Hopes and fears, Queen of Coins reversed. Interesting. We've been getting that Queen of Coins, and I felt it's been sometimes a donor up to no good. A donor trying to influence politics in a very far right or very corporate friendly kind of way, but it's reversed. So we're hoping there's less influence. The Hermit for the outcome. I feel like he's telling us about our nation. Let me clarify it. 7 of Swords. But Page of Coins. Okay. Again, with this, it's going to take time. So, yeah, we've isolated ourselves too much from the rest of the world with the president that we have, the America First kind of guy that's in the office. And there's been some schemes. There are hidden agendas. There are hidden... Yeah. There are hidden plans. Oh my, I didn't realize that. I'm just hearing... there's a reason, there's a larger reason why we are isolated from the rest of the world throughout this administration. There's a larger reason for that. It's plans, it's schemes, it's underhanded. But the Page of Coins, we also will find some greater security, perhaps find our way to prosperity and something new. Even with the U.S. mostly on its own, because, gosh, all the scientists he's sent away. Oh my gosh. When you think about all of that. But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay with that page of coins. He's saying it's going to be okay. But he's also saying we need plans. We do need to be willing to elect somebody in the future who may not say things exactly that we love, that are comfortable, who may say things that are just cutting through the BS, and this is the fact. These are the facts. This is where we're at. We're going to need to be willing to elect politicians like that. And yes, politicians who are temperate and wise, and who know that we can't do it all at once, but have really great ideas for legislation that will decrease corporate influences on our government. Okay. So, interesting. Thank you so much, Mr. Lewis. Is there anything else you would tell us? Any advice? Queen of Wands, support women, the rising female in politics. Yes, that's a good thing. He doesn't want to leave us with the impression that the leadership's only going to be male. Okay. Intelligence, data, information. Yep, the leadership coming up with a queen that has some fire. The leadership coming up is going to be mature. Now I find that really nice because the cards we've gotten for the leadership we have currently in the White House are not usually kings and queens, no. So yeah, there's encouragement, but yes, one thing at a time. We're going to need to remove one obstacle at a time and be wise. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Congressman Lewis. Okay. Everybody take care. And these are words of wisdom. Thank you. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.